This week on It's Too Wordy, all I am surrounded by is fear and dead men. Alright everybody, welcome to the It's Too Wordy comic book podcast. Where we discuss comics. Three buddies sit around and discuss comics.
Yeah, we don't have a
format.
anymore,
We don't have a format anymore.
One old comic, one new comic. Nope.
No.
Two old comics, one new, one trade paper. No.
Whatever we feel like it's whatever we feel like listening talking about.
Seven of them.
We're trying to go by themes now.
Yeah, we are.
That.
That's good. We actually have a theme going. So, how's everybody doing? Oh, by the way, this is Kirk.
Nick.
Ryan.
How's everybody doing this week?
All right.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So I was listening to some podcast today, and I found a comic book one, and it was 3.5 hours long.
Oh my god.
And I was like, no. One, you guys sound horrible. And two, you are a bunch of jackasses. They were just like they were like radio shock jocks. And I was like, no, this is not happening. I'm not listening to this. For 3.5 hours?
Oh my god.
We're bad enough.
No, we're not. And I have a comment to prove it. We got a comment on our Podbean page from Scott Holmes. Hope that's how you say your name. If not, write in and tell us so we don't mess it up, because you're the only one who really comments on our stuff. It says, "Hi guys, this is my first episode of," I'm going to say the It's Too Wordy comic book podcast now, but he has round robin. But I'm going to go back for the earlier episodes. I liked what I heard. You're all knowledgeable about the subject without being elitist. Although, you will never name drop the Star Trek episode, The City on the Edge of Forever, and get the title correct.
Never. I will never get that right.
Nope. I also like how you each commit to reading at least one issue of these diverse titles. Since you are reading digital copies anyway, how would you feel about taking a look at a webcomic or two that listeners recommend?
Yeah, I'm all for it.
I'm all for it, man. If you got something you want us to talk about, just let us know. So this week, we are going to be discussing The Invaders #1, Excellence #1, and to finally round out Star Wars month, we're going to be talking about Vader Down. The Invaders #1. I'm going to assume it was written by Roy Thomas?
Yeah.
And to clarify, this is the dollar reprint.
Yeah, the dollar reprint. Yeah, we're not ballers here. I'm just kidding.
What, like my Nova issue #1 that I just pulled out and started reading?
Yeah, baller.
And I was like, oh, that's $100. I bought it for $2. So in my mind, it's still worth $2.
That's a good return on investment there, pal.
That's okay. I bought Star Wars #1 35-cent edition from Ryan's store.
Yeah.
For $1.
And it's worth like $1,000.
$3,500.
$3,500 now. Last time I checked, it was worth $1,000. Now it's worth $3,500. That's a nice ROI there.
So that's why I always go and I search for the oldest book for the cheapest price. And I was like, oh, Star Wars. Let me find the oldest one. It's $1. Yeah, I'll buy that for $1. I'm buying that for $1.
Ryan's
Granted, it was in '94.
Ryan's just shaking his head.
Okay, I had no
there.
control over that back then.
No, and I think it was from the. People know.
You know what it is. I
Consignment.
don't know.
Consignment.
There
right.
we go. Consignment item.
So whoever gave me that book for $1, thank you very much.
All right. So the Invaders #1, it was written by Roy Thomas and drawn by Frank Robin. World War II is probably one of my favorite time periods in history to learn about and read about. So this issue kind of was right on point for me. I enjoyed the story. I didn't like the sidekicks. The sidekicks could go away. I'm like, this isn't Bucky. Bucky's got a metal arm and long hair.
Oh no, this was Bucky for like, I don't know how long.
That.
Yeah.
I know. I like how Namor, I've learned since reading these that Namor there's only one person land dweller that he has respect for.
That's Cap.
And that's Cap.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's the only guy.
And you notice he only calls him by Captain America in the book.
Yes. He doesn't call him.
He's a royal, so he has like this, he'd call everybody by their title. So it's like, no, Captain America.
Yeah.
Even like when he's yelling at him.
Yeah.
Well, that was during this time frame. In the 90s Byron run, he did have respect for an oceanographer as well, which is...
Okay. But, you know, he'd be doing his Namor thing, being an ass.
Mm-hmm.
and Cap can just look at him and Namor will shut up.
Yeah.
Even recently, like,
Yeah.
Namor would be on a rant and Cap would be like, no. And he'd be like, sorry.
I really enjoyed this. It makes me want to get I want to get more. I want to find more and read more stories with them.
I think they're doing an epic collection, so it's kind of combining all those books.
I've been I was flipping through. They're doing an epic collection of this and like a few other. What'd you guys think?
I've been collecting Invaders for a while, and no, I think they get better as they go on because they start introducing new characters and they get rid of the sidekicks. Like
Nice.
Toro dies off.
What issue? Number 2?
I don't remember, but they bring
Giant size number 1.
They bring in Union Jack and Spitfire,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and then they introduce all the British here, like the Fall Roasts, like in the vampires and all that good stuff, and yeah, it's really
The
good.
older or the later stuff is a lot better.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely start reading this stuff then.
It's a good throwback for the time frame that this was originally written. It sounds right. I had a hard time with the art.
Did you?
Yeah,
They wanted it to look back like it did in the 40s.
and that's okay.
It doesn't stay like that though.
All of them have that square jaw
Oh yeah,
thing, and it really bothers. I want to see different characteristics on each character. I don't want to see the exact same jaw.
I agree, but I do like that everybody looks different.
Oh yeah, well no, yeah, you're right. I just all of them have that
They have the square jaw.
square jaw.
Yeah.
That just I thought it was a fun read. It did take me a little bit longer to get through it.
Yeah.
But I like how it was broken up into a couple of pieces opposed to it being just one
long
long
story.
story. They make plenty of references back to the original Invaders #1, referring to things, and Nick even had to clarify that for me so I understood what was actually happening.
He told me that too because I had a problem with that. Invaders #1.
it kept saying Invaders #1, so I looked up. I was like, "This is Invaders #1, right?" So
Yeah.
I would Google search it, and I'm like, "Invaders #1." Well, why do they keep researching, like referring to Invaders #1? It's like giant size Invaders #1. You should have put that in there.
Should have put giant-sized invaders.
Because I saw something about Invaders magazine in there at some point too, because it made a reference to that. So it was a fun read.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I had fun.
For $1, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, $1. Yeah.
So I'm going to say something that I have not researched, but I think in this book they have Marvel's first 2 mutants. So you have Namor and you have Toro. I can't say that Toro's the second mutant ever in Marvel, but he's pretty close.
Pretty
if he
close.
isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has to be. If not, one of 2. Or hey, is that a Power Pack novel I see? I think Ryan would enjoy reviewing that.
Maybe that'll be in one of my random reads. I'll do a Power Pack #1.
Yeah, that's the only
All right.
way that's getting reviewed. I'm not touching it.
Maybe I'll just sit here and poke Ryan with it.
Here, hey, look.
Hey, look.
Hey, look.
They're
Look
hanging
at
out with the Punisher in Dakota North.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
look
yeah,
at
And it-
yeah.
And she's farting rainbows.
Yes. And one is just a flying fart.
I just don't get it.
And they
Granted, I've
keep
never
changing
read it,
powers. Like each one of the Powers kids, like their powers would switch. So you're like, which one's Master now? Oh, that's the hit. What? But yeah, they keep switching powers back and forth, which really gets annoying.
but I can understand how that book's not going any longer.
Yep.
But they're in the Fantastic Four. Well, they were in FF, in Freedom Foundation.
Yep.
I don't read that either. I did like how they have the advertisements for those epic collections. I think this
Yeah.
is a prime book to do that for, because those epic collections are collecting those older books and putting them
Yep.
together. You're putting out an older book again. I think that's a fantastic place to move those books.
What was I
But-
reading?
Sorry.
So-
But there's
sorry.
one part of this where they get attacked by Sabretooth. And you know how like Scott Lang
Who
or
gets
or,
attacked by Power Pack? Or Power Pack gets attacked by Sabretooth?
yeah,
Okay.
you know how Ant-Man would decrease in size, but he'd stay the same weight?
Mm-hmm.
Like Master just shrinks and gets really heavy. So he jumps from like a certain height and just gets really heavy and knocks Sabretooth right out.
Wow.
Pretty good for a 5-year-old.
Yeah,
Since Wolverine can't do that.
Yeah.
not bad.
Not my brother.
But
But-
what I was gonna say is that they're bringing out facsimile issues of books.
Yeah.
Like I saw like giant size X-Men, and I still need to pick up that Incredible Hulk 181. I don't know if anybody still got it. But yeah, maybe it was the previews book I had that had it all in there.
I saw that in the previews.
All right, what do we think for this this old time story,
Well, I was always a fan, so I'll give it a 4.
Ryan?
3.5.
1? No. Just kidding. Probably I'll go 4 because it's making me want to read more. So
Yeah, if it wasn't for the sidekicks.
They're not in there forever.
Because I've read later issues.
Yeah.
It just, I forget how whiny sidekick, that's the whole purpose of the sidekick, is to be whiny.
But the thing, like with Ray Thomas, he was like a huge Marvel fan when he was growing up in the 40s. And can you imagine just getting that job and then you get to redo all your heroes that you grew up,
yeah, that
Right.
would be pretty
and then just
badass.
representing all of them?
That would be pretty awesome. This is my take on my favorite guys. All right. The next one we're going to do is Excellence Number 1. It's a new book by Image, written by Brandon Thomas. Kerry Rudolph, I believe, should be the artist. Randolph.
Emilio Lopez is the colorist.
The colorist?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you guys start off.
I really liked the art in this. I thought the art was good. It was different enough. It caught my attention. I liked the premise of it. I did feel it took a little bit to get going.
Slow burn?
Slow burn.
What's wrong with the slow burn?
Nothing wrong with that. It's just get used to those number ones being that
The
instant impact immediately, and then they kind of start the slow burn in the next issue because now they got you hooked.
Yeah.
There's parts of it I really liked. There's other parts of it I was like,
Yeah.
we'll see.
I think there's more F words in this book than there's in a Nick Cave song.
Yeah.
I mean, my God. There's so many F words in
There are
this.
some F words in here. A lot of them. And there's an N word in there, too.
I didn't notice the F word.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's in there.
It's in there.
Grandma's the
Grandma.
worst offender.
Grandma drops it right in his face, like a lot.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Yep.
Right there.
Point your finger randomly, you'll find it. I don't know. I just read it, and it was pretty good. There's a lot of wizard books. It's a different take on it, and thank God it's not Harry Potter, because we don't need another kid going to a school to learn magic.
That's exactly what I thought when I opened this up and I started reading. I'm like, oh, no.
But we don't know, because he did go to a school to learn magic, right? Was that in the beginning, when he was getting the trials? And
He was being constantly
Tested because he's one of the 10 original families.
It reminded me more of a dojo than
Yeah.
a school.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, oh, God, please not another Harry Potter. I really want to like this book because I picked it. This was my pick for you know, and I'm like, okay, come on, you got to get better. And it does towards the end.
Oh, it was a great
I like
story. I don't know if I'm 100% committed to continuing the run, but I'd probably pick up the next issue and check it out.
I'm gonna give it. I think I really want to read this entire run. I think this will be a new book, but it's gonna determine on issue number 2 for me. If 2 is a stinker, I can't just go, well, I'll read number 3 to see if it picks up, and then I'm 10 books in, and I'm like, oh, this is shit.
Yeah, there are some books that you have to go through, like, the first 10 issues before it starts kicking in.
Yeah.
And then some books that do that are just brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now you got me hooked for the next 60 issues.
Yeah. I agree with Ryan. I really love the artwork. I love that they threw the F-bombs in here, because you aren't going to get that with Marvel.
Yeah, well,
You
it's
know.
Max.
Not since Max died.
Yeah.
But like I was saying before, I'm slowly starting to trust Image again. Like I'm starting to enjoy most of the titles.
I wouldn't so much worry about trusting the company as much as the people that are writing, since it's all self-owned.
Yeah. It's just the ones that I've picked up, I've liked so far. So, what do we give it?
I'm going to give it a 3 for right now. Because there's parts of it that I have to read over and over again to figure out what the hell's going on. Because it's new and I don't know the characters, I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
I give it a 3.
Okay. I'll give it a 3.5. The next one we're going to do is the trade paperback of old Snarth Vader. Darth Vader himself, Vader Down.
I wonder if he finally kills Leia.
I'm not
I
sure.
wonder if he gets Luke.
I don't know. It's on that red and black font that you absolutely adore in the beginning.
Which is funny because that's our old logo. It was all black and white and then had a red logo on it.
Yep.
I was like, oh, look at me.
I'm a hypocrite.
I'm a hypocrite. Yep.
Book starts off, Vader's chasing down somebody, probably the rebels, and you meet Dr. Aphra, which
I kind of dug her.
she's
a nut job.
She is a nut job, and there are very few people that Vader trusts, and he actually later on he's always got Aphra with him.
Is that because he trusts her, or is it because he keep your enemies close?
I don't know. I stopped reading it, so I'm not sure.
She has her own book now.
She does have her own book.
And when she was first introduced, there wasn't that trust.
No, because she led him right into a trap.
Yeah.
At first. Yeah, he's like, I'm going to kill you for sending me into a trap. And she's like, I didn't know it was going to be a trap. And then you got this blue squadron. I don't remember what the name of the blue squadron was. Was it Rogues? It was the Rogues.
I don't know, but it doesn't matter because they're all fucking dead.
They are dead. And then Luke's like, who the hell is flying that thing? And Luke's like, a dead man.
Okay. Luke would feel him
He
from
would.
Well, getting off of that Star Destroyer.
Well, this is right after the Death Star.
Yeah, I guess. He hasn't met Vader yet.
He hasn't.
He's seen Vader.
He's seen Vader. He hasn't met him.
Right. So, probably not. But that's the problem with like prequels and like middle stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's no tension because you know these characters aren't going to get hurt.
Yeah, because we know what the movies are.
Right.
So it's like,
wonder what's going to happen here.
Yeah. And they start shooting torpedoes at him, and he's just like, and then Luke decides to go all kamikaze on him and ram ships with him. That was pretty cool. I thought that was a good part, but I knew he was going to survive because he doesn't die until episode 8.
Does he?
Well, I don't know. Guess we'll have to watch episode 9. I've noticed that in the Star Wars universe, Marvel's starting to show the dead bodies floating around in space. I'm like, okay. I always wondered what happened to them. I guess they're just floating. Leia starts getting a strike team together because they're going to go take Vader down. And I'm like, yeah. Okay. And Han. I felt this comic did a better deal with Han than what was that, Dark Empire?
Yeah.
They actually made him Han. He's not being Jedi mind tricked by Leia.
Jason Aaron and Karen Gillan both did a fantastic job of capturing the characters.
Yeah. Looks like they're going to Rogus Voss to see if they can get... Are they going to rescue Luke or trying to help the rebels on that planet? I can't remember.
No, because Vader's down there. They're going to go kill Vader.
They're going to go kill Vader. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
That's their one chance to get Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just bombard the planet.
Yeah.
Like the Empire would. You have Star Destroyers. You have Mon Calamari ships.
But Nick, they're the good guys.
It's a barren planet.
They're the good guys.
Just blow it up.
They have their own troops on the planet.
They're still at war. Who cares? You have him right there on the planet. Just fucking destroy it.
Wow, Nick's a dark side user.
I'm sorry. It's just... It's annoying. It's like reading Superman, and he's not using his force or his cool breath to stop Brainiac. And it's like, just do it! You just use your freaking laser beams, not just punch people. Idiot. But that's what they get for being stupid about Vader, is that Vader still is alive.
Yeah. He probably would have survived anyway, because he can deflect freaking laser beams with his hands.
That's right. He just jump really high up to the ship in outer space. I don't have to breathe, I have a mask on.
Yep. But there is a cool part where Vader's using his powers to throw things at the bombers and stuff like that when they show him marooned. Oh look, Luke and R2 walking through the desert.
That doesn't seem familiar at all.
I haven't seen that before.
I think if you asked Luke, he would just say, blow up the planet.
Yeah, he's like, I hate sand.
I hate sand. Blow it up.
It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
At least Vader didn't say that.
At least he didn't say that.
Dad?
And then my favorite part of the book, well, one of my favorite parts is where they're like, give up, you're surrounded, lay down your weapon. And then as the opening line from the show, the only thing I'm surrounded by is fear and dead men. I'm like, yes, feel the dark side float through you. And then they don't show him eviscerating anybody.
No, because he blows them up with thermal detonators.
That's right.
Yeah, which is pretty smart of him to use the weapons that they have on them.
Yeah.
To do it for him.
I would have liked to see them slash at least 100 of them. And then Han's getting mad at some guy with a mustache, so it must be somebody important, because all the rebels with the mustaches are important, just like all the ones with the sideburns and mutton chops on the Empire are like the evil officers.
Well, that's what gives it away, the mutton chops.
Yep.
In the English accents.
Yep. The English are evil. I really liked this when I first read it, but I read it through it again. I'm like, it's alright. The murder bots, the murder droids,
okay,
are awesome.
So that R2 unit that she has,
mm-hmm.
Where does he store all that?
I don't know.
Is his entire body hollow?
Probably.
Because that is a lot of stuff to cram in that body.
Missiles and Gatling guns and
She just changes them out,
Right.
We might need a Gatlin on this trip, so let's go ahead and swap that out.
I liked it, though. Oh, is it blood? There's going to be a lot of blood in that one. I can't wait to eviscerate him. I'm like, this is awesome. This is what C-3PO should have been.
There's just this part like where Han gets attacked by a bunch of snakes.
Wasps.
Right. But they look like snakes.
Wasp worms?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's like, God damn it. Come on. He's not Indiana Jones. He's
No,
not
but-
afraid of snakes.
But if you read before that, she's like, what kind of idiot? He's like, what kind of idiot
Right.
hides underneath a wasp worm nest? And they show the panel, and he's right underneath one, too. So, I do like that Han was afraid of Afra, though. He's like, oh, hell.
Because he knows crazy.
Yeah, he knows crazy.
He's been around.
He's been around, and he is crazy. Crazy knows crazy. We don't have to go through the whole thing.
No, but there's always the R2-D2 ex machina that he has to come around and save everybody.
Yeah.
It's like no matter what happens, it's R2.
He's the real hero of the whole saga.
Oh, he needs jetpacks? He uses jetpacks. He's got a vial of antidote for Chewbacca. He's got an antidote for Chewbacca.
Yeah.
He can hack that computer. Perfect.
How do you feel about Rey? You think she's a Mary Sue?
No, I think she's a Dark Jedi.
Okay.
Spoilers.
She learned the Force too fast.
So did Luke.
He sat in a swamp at least.
Right. She was trained like by herself.
She was trained by Luke.
Sort of.
You don't know how long she was on that planet.
She had the Force before that.
Just like you don't know how long Luke was on Dagobah. In the movie, it's like 2 minutes.
You're not going to retcon that Vima Dabota was on that planet teaching Rey how to use the Force pretty soon, in like 20 years.
Probably.
Oh, there was a Jedi on the planet. It was
I don't know.
Joris Saboth. Or some other shit that they made up in the 90s.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's a callback.
Yeah, there you go. Heir to the Empire. I don't know. I just, like Nick said, I didn't feel any. Reading it again, I'm like, he really isn't. There is no tension. There is no danger. You know who wins this battle. Hey, cool, murder bots.
I think with the Star Wars books, they're really good that first time. You enjoy them that
and then
first
you go
time.
back
But
and-
if you try to go back to read them again, outside of Tag and Bank, it just doesn't have the same feel. And I think a lot of it has to do with that the universe has gotten so much bigger with the new movies and everything. You're kind of seeing that, and you're like, okay, that really doesn't fit
Yeah.
there. That doesn't work this way. Vader actually said this at some point, and that contradicts everything he said in this. I think that's a lot of it.
To come to find out, Obi-Wan Kenobi's the biggest fucking liar in the universe.
We knew that in the first movie. You could
Yeah.
tell.
Schmarmy old man. When I was a kid, I didn't know that. When I went back and watched it as an adult, I'm like, oh my god, he just took advantage of that fucking kid right there. Dumb farm boy. I knew your father. I didn't really know your father.
So what do you rate it?
I'm going to go 2.5.
Wow. That low, huh?
Yeah. Second time kind of ruined it for me.
Wow.
I should have just left it at...
Okay. I was going to give it like a 3.5.
It just,
The art's good. The
art
story's
is
good the
good.
first time. Then you start thinking about it.
like I said,
So
I
the first
should've-
time, that's what I'm going to give it at.
Okay, so what I shouldn't have done is gone back and read it. Since I had read it like a year before.
Yeah, probably not.
I probably should have just left it alone and just gone off. But no, I read it again, and I'm like, this is so dumb.
I bought the first issue when it came out,
Yeah.
and I didn't have any interest in it then. And now, now I finally read it. Like, I don't know, 5 years later. something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
15, yeah.
Around
14,
Maybe
15.
4 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, no, it's not a waste of time.
No.
It's not deceased.
No. Oh, I like Deceased.
No, you didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Year of the Villain was,
Year of the Villain was
That
a
was it.
waste of money.
Yeah.
I wish I hadn't paid $0.25 for that thing.
Vader Down. I'd say it's a 3, but I guarantee if we reviewed it down the road in another year or two, I'd probably give it a 2. It's just the
So
longer
it gets worse, you more read it, the more,
Yeah.
The more you read it, because you think about it more.
Right.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm sitting there going, why did I like this? It's
Because
like,
you know no main characters are going to die.
it would have been cool if at least one of them had been like stabbed or something. You know, he survived a re-entry crash. Both of them.
And a farm boy, not a Jedi.
Not a
Just a
Jedi
farm
yet,
boy.
just a farm boy in a ship.
Who can crash his ship just enough that he stays alive in a descent through the atmosphere.
Yeah.
He's not a Jedi. He's just a kid that knows how to fly a plane.
Yeah. I'm just...
Okay, fine, 2.
Jesus. What I took away from it is I still love the 2 murder droids and where Vader takes out the whole rebel battalion.
There's an awesome old droids comic that has a cover of like a C-3PO droid, a protocol droid, that's got a crossed out eye. He's got a giant gun.
The Dark Horse one?
Yeah. And he's a bounty hunter. And that is how I was always like, that's how C-3PO should be.
Yeah, I agree.
I should go find it for you.
Poor Tag and Bink.
But it's not a good issue.
Probably not.
No, it's 90s Dark Horse Star Wars. Yeah,
Okay.
it's marginal at best.
All right.
It's got a cool cover, though.
It was the only thing about Vader, this Vader Down that I liked was you actually got to see what he could do.
Yeah.
Without support.
Yeah, he
That
was
was the
on
biggest
his
thing
own,
for
and
me.
you could see that he was still...
Because even in the movies, you never really saw that.
No, you're like, wow, he really was a Dark Lord of the Sith. He could really take care of himself.
I always had the impression that he killed all the Jedi. It wasn't just the Stormtroopers that did it. Like, he went around the universe or the galaxy and killed them all.
I didn't believe that it was this, because how the Stormtroopers get a drop on him? If hold on, follow me here. If Master Yoda knew what was going to happen, how did all those other masters that were on the council with him not know it was coming?
Because they lost their connection to the Force, remember? They were all being like, it had to be balanced because they were all losing their connection.
Huh.
So maybe Yoda did a Doctor Strange and saw the future and was like, you all need to die, so see ya.
I don't know, but, well, he did
Good
want
riddance because you're all a piece of crap.
What I found out is he did want the Jedi to die. That was his plan. The Jedi were going to die. Thank you, Retcon from episode 8. All right, let's move on to random reads. Anybody read anything good this week? Ryan? Nick? You go first, Ryan. It's kind of your segment. All right, go ahead, Ryan.
All right. So I went a little bit 80s and 90s this week. One of my all-time favorite movies is The Last Starfighter.
Nice. Like that movie? Love
Never
that movie.
read the comic.
There was a comic?
There was a comic. It's a 3-part series. I've got 1 and 2. Still trying to track down 3.
You already sold me. You don't have to talk about it.
Done.
If you've never seen the movie, check it out. It's absolutely amazing. It is
awesome.
Rip-off of Star Wars. However, kind of.
He's a video game player.
So it's a rip-off of Star Wars and the Wizard combined.
There you go.
California.
But, the adaptation that they did with this book was just really amazing. I could see the characters. I remember the dialogue. They did a fantastic job with that. There's a couple of scenes where they kind of messed up the faces a little bit when blanking on the guy that goes and recruits them. He kind of does his face change thing, and there's a scene where he's like full alien mode, and like the next scene he's got the human face, and then the next scene he's alien mode again. It's like they kind of biffed that part. But overall, fantastic. I loved it. I want to watch the movie again.
I have it on Blu-ray at home.
I do too.
Is it affordable?
These cost me a total of $6.
Nice.
That's not without it, so about $3 a piece.
Sweet.
So yeah, absolutely affordable.
Nice.
So that was my 80s read. My 90s read was Nomad. This is the Jack Monroe Nomad, and for whatever reason, I remember getting it when I was younger. I lost all the issues, so I went out and bought them all over again because some reason I have that stuck in my head. And there's a 4-part miniseries, and then it rolled into a regular series. And I've been reading through it. I'm up to like issue 15 now. And I'm really impressed with the things that they took on in these books. They dealt with the HIV virus. They dealt with drug addiction. The tabloids outing people for being gay. And this was in the 90s. And there was no like set bad guy, what I've read so far. It's just day-to-day issues. He's just traveling around with this kid and dealing with these issues. And, he gets paid a little bit of money to move on to the next group or next town. And it has just been so fun and entertaining to read. There are some references in there about stuff that was more of the 90s type thing. But for the most part, I think they still hold up pretty well. I'm absolutely loving this, and it's becoming one of my favorite Marvel series that I've read. So that's what I've read this week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny because like in the 90s, probably 93, 92, Samuel Clark Haybaker came down to Ground Zero, and he was the first comic book artist I ever met. And I couldn't say a goddamn word to him.
No.
I was like, can you sign
Can you
this?
sign this for me?
So there's like
Kinda
nerdy
like how-
14-year-old me, like, hey,
Hey.
him.
There was 42-year-old nerdy Kirk at KC meeting Chris Claremont. Hi, how you doing?
Well, I'm hoping 42-year-old nerdy Kirk will get this signed for me up in Minnesota.
Is that Haybaker's?
Yep,
Very nice.
confirmed.
I'll bring my other two up and be like, look what I got in 92.
Okay, so you're entrusting me to remember another one. Okay.
Nomad and Murder Falcon. Come on.
No, I just got to remember to put them in my bag before we leave. What do you got, Nick?
All right, so I was just going through an inventory of my comics, and I came across Fred Hembeck Destroys the Marvel Universe. It came out in '89, and Fred Hembeck was a parody artist for comic books. He did the Fantastic Four roast. He did Dial H for Hembeck, which is pretty funny. You'll know his style because he always has like squiggles on the knees, and they're really funny looking. So in this one, he thinks about different ways of killing everybody in the Marvel universe, right, at the time. So he gives Black Panther, Black Cat, Black Knight, Black Bolt, Black Panther, Black Cat, and a Black Widow. He gives them the Black Death.
The Black Death. Nice.
He puts Captain Marvel in a TV set and turns it off. Like Jarvis comes back in the Avengers mansion and is like, oh, the TV's still on. Turns it off and she dies. Daredevil gets a sigh in the chest, like an Electra got. But he's talking to a Mexican and they're both like, see, sigh, see, so, see, sigh. And back in the time that Thanos wasn't so powerful, he got turned to stone in like one of the Avengers annuals or a Marvel 2-in-1 annual. And he appears at a Dazzler concert and he falls on her and kills her.
So he just focuses on certain characters. This is how they die, and then moves on to the next character. There's no like continuing story.
No. Okay.
It's just-
Okay.
That's awesome.
this is like death after death after death.
Was that Loki or Iron Fist?
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist. Okay.
But it's like a book where you can be like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? It's like just like so many people.
Naming who it is.
And the X-Men die in the most unceremonious way
How's that?
in their sleep. They're all sleeping in the X-Mansion and like the Sentinels come and just kill them silently in their sleep.
By the way, happy X-Men Day, everybody.
Yay! Everybody go watch that movie.
Fox declared May 13th X-Men Day.
I would have thought that would have been June 5th, right?
Probably, but they declared because of everything that's been done in the X-Men universe.
Okay.
That's just why I said that. That's why I'm wearing my X-Men shirt today.
I heard it was X-Men Day too, but I couldn't figure out the logic behind any of it.
It's just a way to celebrate X-Men, I guess.
Alright, that's it.
My turn?
Yup.
Alright, so Ryan's going to be happy with me because I started reading Showcase Presents The Green Lantern, and I was like, alright, I'm going to give this a shot, right? And I opened it up, and I'm on like page 60 right now because I haven't had time because I'm studying. I love what I've read so far. I love the drawing. I love the 1960s Green Lantern.
We'll talk about that in a second.
That was the quickest first issue of a comic book I've ever read. When he meets Ebenser, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then how he becomes a celebrity, and what's her face?
Carol Ferris.
Carol Ferris falls in love with Green Lantern and not him.
Yep.
Yeah. There was one that I skipped over because it was kind of hokey to me. Venus has dinosaurs on it.
Oh, that would have been issue 4, I think.
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I was like, I want to read some old Green Lantern. So I went and I got this at my copy at Half Price Books.
You didn't pay the publisher their money, so it's stealing it.
Fuck them. I'm really enjoying it. And then I picked up Murder Falcon number 8, which is the conclusion of the current storyline, which we reviewed in an earlier episode. And Murph goes a little bit more Billy Badass in it. the guitarist, what's his name?
I'm absolutely horrible with names. I know who you're talking about, but
Him and Murph have to go in and into the base and to kill them. There's a horn that you can play that'll kill this alien, right? And so he's playing his guitar, and Murph's just going all Billy Badass on him and stuff like that. And Murph is distracting him, and he has to climb the stairs. The guitar guy has to climb the stairs, and he's like, I don't know if I can do this because, he's got cancer. So they did a really good job of showing him get to the top, and he's like, they're showing him like shaking, and the guy's like, got Murph by the neck, right? And he's like, do yourself a favor, just give up, I have won. And Murph was playing possum and starts shooting him in the face with his Gatling gun on his shoulder. And then guitar guy blows on the horn, and it goes dark, right? The lights go out. And it was a really poignant part because he says, Murph, we got it all wrong. The horn doesn't call the dead back to life. So it's calling them all to their death. The sick people.
right.
Right? So the alien gets destroyed, and Murph is like, we did it. His name's Jake. The guitar player's Jake. He says, we did it, Jake. We really, Jake? And he's face down on the concrete. And then they skip to on the next page in the panel. Everybody's at his hospital bed, and he kind of comes out of his body, and he's like, guys, hello, Jake. What's going on? Who are you? I am the voice of the thousands, and it's fucking Ronnie James Dio. Ronnie Dio! I'm like, that's so metal. And they just talk, and he says goodbye to everybody. And then he says to Murph, there are no words. He says to his girlfriend, and then he looks at Murph. He's like, Murph, my time with you has been... And he goes, oh, I'm going with you. What? And I'm like, okay. And they talk about, is there metal in heaven? He's like, oh, like you wouldn't believe, my son, and stuff like that. And it ends. And I'm like, okay, I just got into this. This feels like an ending. This doesn't feel like it's going to be a continuation. It feels like this book has been ended. To me. And I'm actually kind of pissed. Because I've started to care about the characters in 2 books that I've read. And I'm like, that can't be the last issue. And I know when we go up to Minneapolis and he's there, and I ask him that, he's not going to tell me. He's going to be like, man, huh?
He might tell you.
But
It could be just the end of that chapter. They're going into the next chapter.
I know, but if Murph's going with him, what's the point of Murder Falcon? No, I'm just saying it.
Maybe he just wanted to do a 6-issue or 7-issue story.
Could be. It just felt like more of an ending than, hey, this is going to go on, right? But I really loved it. I'm seriously want to try to find the other 6 issues. I think I want to have them so I can read the entire story and the whole thing makes sense. All right. Anybody got something else? Got nothing? I did a little research today. I had a little time to read a couple articles. Apparently Marvel is going to copy DC.
Imagine that.
With, how they had Detective Comics and Action Comics number 1,000.
Uh-huh.
Marvel's got a Marvel Comics number 1,000 coming out. And it's going to be 80 stories from 80 different creative teams. It's coming out in August.
It's going to be an expensive book.
And it's got George Perez, Kelly Sue DeConnick, and Walter Simonson, and more. Right? So they were talking about it in this article about how we all know that there's no 1,000 issues of Marvel Comics. Because Marvel Comics and Marvel Mystery, what it turned into, stopped at 159.
Right.
So I was like, you're just copying DC to do a little cash grab. I kind of want to see it. But it was just like,
so it's working.
Well, all they had to do was say it's the 80th anniversary of Marvel, and I probably would have bought it.
Right.
They didn't have to put the 1,000 on the end of it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
The other one was an article about Rob Liefeld. Batman and the Outsiders #1 has a character named Caliber, and he looks just like Cable. Right? So, and he has a stand-in for Hope Summers. Right?
Is this their payback for Deadpool?
Hold on. So, they, on Twitter, so here's the other part. A man sent from the future who claims to be trying to save the world from a terrible fate. Yes, I think this is payback for Deadpool. It only took him, 20 years? 21 years? But Liefeld was asked on Twitter what he thought of it. And he says, I'm honored and flattered that they did that. And they didn't expect that because he came back and said something else, like, I didn't know he even existed until you guys pointed it out to me. Like I said, I'm honored and flattered.
While I get my lawsuit put together, too.
Did they sue him over
No.
Deadpool?
No.
Even though his name was Wade Wilson?
Slade Wilson.
Slade Wilson?
Yeah, no.
No. So,
There's no lawsuit. Marvel did sue him, though,
did they?
for the Fighting American. Because he was way too close to Cap.
He was too close.
Like, he looked almost exactly like him, and he was throwing his shield around, and they went to court, and they were like, well, you can keep the look, you just can't throw the shield. So that's the only reason why anybody bought Fighting American comics.
Yeah. So, I just thought it was interesting that DC is getting their revenge 20 years later. Those are the two articles I had today, so. I was like, oh my god. I kind of want to see it. Because that was one of them I was going to pick up. And I
Right.
was like, I didn't pick it up, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'm going to pick it up now.
What book was that?
Batman and the Outsiders,
okay.
#1. All right. That's what I have this week.
Want to talk about Endgame?
We can.
We can.
You can spoil it, because that spoiler thing is over.
Yeah. The Russo brothers said it was 2 weeks.
What were your impressions on the ending of it?
I'm going to tell you that throughout the whole movie, I thought Cap was going to die. I thought Captain America was the one that was going to die at the end.
I didn't think that way. I think if they were going to kill him, it would have been in Civil War.
Yeah.
But
But that's what I thought throughout the whole
Yeah.
thing. You know, I totally ignored how Tony Stark... They told you flat out that he was going to die in that movie.
Yeah.
The way they built his story. And I'm like, I didn't see that coming. Because I was so fixated on Captain America being the one who was going to die. But I enjoyed how they ended Cap's story with Chris Evans, since he's not going to be back. They turned him into old man Steve Rogers. He went and had a life.
why not? Everybody else has had an old man at this point.
Right.
But he was the original, though. They did that whole thing before where they gave it to Falcon.
Yeah.
So they had done it before Old Man Logan and Old Man Quill and Old Man.
Right.
You know, I really enjoyed that. I love that that's the way that his character went out. Was he went out passing the torch.
Ooh, torch.
Yeah.
Nice pun.
You like what I did there? I didn't even try. What'd you guys think about it? About the ending?
They shouldn't have let people know that was Chris Evans' last movie the
Yeah.
whole time. Because then you're like, he's either going to die or he's going to give that shield up. Because we've been waiting for him to give it up to Bucky the whole time.
Yeah.
Everybody, like my wife cried in the movie theater. She cried on the way home because her favorite character is Iron Man. And I couldn't have cared less.
I did cry.
I mean, I'm just so used to superheroes dying that I just didn't care. Like, there's a multiverse. They're going to bring him back in somehow. Maybe that was a hologram that he was using. Maybe that wasn't really Tony Stark. Maybe because in Iron Man 2, he had that weird alternate virtual reality thing that he was talking to, like the young one from Less Than Zero was talking to his dad.
Yeah.
So there's that. I think the thing that I was most excited for was when Peggy Carter brought up Brian Braddock. I was like, when I came home, and I didn't even hear it in the theater because I was so overly emotional because he's finally seeing Peggy Carter and he could actually do something with her, but
Yeah.
he can't. And I was like, oh, that's so sad. And my head like is just going through like crap, and I'm like,
Yep.
What did she say? What? I missed the whole thing.
Teresa kept going like this when you'd see him with Peggy. When he'd be looking at a picture of Peggy, she'd be like, you know, and then he gets to have his life with her. And I did like that he was worthy to wield the hammer.
That was
badass. Yeah. I did not know that was
Didn't
coming.
See that coming.
And it just, I'm like, oh. And the part that gave me goosebumps,
Fat Thor.
Hold on, we'll get to Fat Thor. Was him finally saying Avengers assemble when they're going to take out Thanos. I was like, I've been waiting for 3 fucking movies for him to say Avengers assemble. And I don't know if he said it before, or did he just say it in the final one?
I don't remember him ever saying that before.
If he has, I can't remember. But I was like, yeah! I was like all like cheering, you know. And I love Fat Thor. Teresa yesterday. I don't care. He's still hot, even with that body. You said you had no emotion with Tony?
Nope.
I had no emotion with Black Widow.
See, that one bugged me more than the Tony.
None. I was like, I knew it was coming.
Well, one of them had to.
Yeah. And
I was hoping it was Hawkeye with that haircut.
I was kind of... Hold on. We're going to get to haircuts in a minute, because I'm kind of... We're going to talk about haircuts, because that bothers me that it's an issue on Twitter. We're going to do it now, okay? People have a problem with Captain Marvel's haircut. The short haircut.
Why?
She looks like she's one of those girls that needs to talk to the manager and blah, 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 and it looks really butch and lesbian. Where's her girlfriend? And I'm like,
wow.
Have you not read the comic book?
I had a bigger problem with her being in the movie than the haircut.
I was wondering how Tony was going to get saved.
Yeah.
Because the Guardians were dead.
I am glad that they left her for last. Like, she was the last hero to show up.
Yeah.
But what I was really hoping for was when she showed finally back up that she was bringing others with her. Like, she went and got Adam Warlock. She went and got the Silver Surfer. She went and got
some
Nova.
kind of an intro.
That would have been awesome.
Like Darkhawk, somebody.
That would have been awesome.
Somebody. Just stop jerking me around with Nova and finally bring him in here.
I agree. Blue Blazes.
God, Adam Warlock. How many times have we seen that stupid cocoon? I'm sorry. It's just, if you're going to jerk me off, just get to a finish.
Give me a happy ending. Come
just
on, guys.
Stop.
That was the one thing I did. I have not seen Captain Marvel.
I haven't either.
But I know I didn't need to see it to go into that movie. And I could not figure out what the purpose of her in that movie was. They just wanted to do that whole woman's thing at the end, which I thought was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But it didn't really kind of fall in line because Janet was supposed to still be helping him shoot the glove back, and all of a sudden she showed up in the front of the screen to go, we're all together. And
yeah, I don't really have a problem with Captain Marvel being in it.
Oh, I just didn't understand. You were, for the save up to that point where Fury sends out that message at the end of The Last Avengers, I expected a bigger role than what we got.
Right. Okay, yeah, I'll agree with that.
But it was funny that Rocket was like, so you're just going to go get another haircut?
Yeah.
And she's like, you're on one planet and I have thousands.
Yeah.
So I think she was probably just out doing something else.
No, and I know that's why they said that. I just, and the other thing I think I would have liked to see a little more interaction with everybody that came back being in there a little bit longer, and the interaction with the main guys again.
Yep.
Because that was so enjoyable in that previous one, and just seeing that a little bit, and you're like, here's a little bit of Doctor Strange, or here's Quill, and Groot grunted one time, or it was like, we're gonna give you a quick peek, and here's Drax jumping on the back of this guy. I wanted to see a little more interaction I mean, Peter got his scene.
As much as I hate him being Tony Stark's sidekick, that was actually kind of an emotional part.
Yeah.
Who?
No.
Peter Parker.
Peter Parker. Yeah. Yeah, that was an emotional scene, and he'd just come back from being dead. And
Yeah, Doctor Strange said it was time to go, so here we are.
Here we are. He's. I will say, out of everybody who's played Spider-Man, there's only been 3.
In the movies, yes.
In the movies. I'll say in the movies.
Not Nicholas Hammond from the TV show?
From the movies. Tom Holland. I like Tom Holland the best.
I'm a big Garfield fan. I did like those movies. I think Tom Holland did a very good job.
I haven't seen the second one of Garfield's. I saw the first one.
I think both of them are still better than Maguire. 3 ruined me on him. But anyhow, that's just a matter of opinion on my part.
What do you think, Nick?
No, I totally agree with that. But
yes, I think he's.
I am glad that they got a younger guy to play him,
Yeah.
though.
And I liked how they were like, "Why are you still in high school?"
Yeah.
I don't know. Or was that an interview? That was an interview I saw on Kimmel.
Was it?
And he's like, "Why? It's been 5 years since Thanos snapped his fingers, right?" And Tom's like, "Yeah. Why are you guys still in high school?"
Well, he didn't. Why?
but he wasn't there. He never
right,
finished his
he
degree.
never finished, so he had to go back.
High school.
I know, but
Come on, man, follow along. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Okay,
it was
so-
because they had the cast of the Far From Home on
Yeah.
Kimmel, and they were talking about that.
Because we had to finish.
Yeah.
On Stark's funeral, when everybody's standing in the yard, anybody notice the kid in the back?
Uh-huh.
You know who that was supposed to be? It was the kid from Iron Man 3 in Tennessee that helped him.
Oh, was it?
The little
Yeah.
kid that helped him?
Well, she'd have a name tag on or something like
I'm like,
Iron Man
who
3
is
t-shirt.
this kid? I
Well-
actually had to look it up, and it's the kid from Iron Man 3.
Going back to Kimmel, Tom Holland thought it was a wedding. They didn't tell
They
him.
didn't
No,
tell
they
him
didn't tell him
Tony
anything.
Tony Stark's funeral.
No, they didn't tell him anything.
because he spoils everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
that's who that kid was.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. I was expecting, okay, this is like maybe a Nova or
Somebody.
something with an impact. And I mean, there's a lot of big characters that showed up in that scene.
Yeah.
I also noticed Gamora was not in that scene,
no,
along with the rest of the Guardians.
she was not in Gamora, and that's why
But
Quill was
that's
looking
why
at
he's
looking
right.
at the screen for Gamora. My favorite, I think, Thor. How they were building on Thor's character in this Avengers movie, I really liked how he's eating his feelings and drinking his feelings for losing his entire planet and not killing Thanos the first time. You know, not cutting it. You know, he does kill him 5 years later, but I really enjoyed it because it's showing that he's not just, you know, an arrogant prick. That he actually cared about his people. That he actually cared about what happened, and he feels like he
Right.
failed. And the whole scene with his mom was hilarious. And then with him and Quill at the end.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who's the boss on this ship.
Oh yeah, you are. Of course, you are.
You look like melted ice cream. Your lower half looks like melted ice cream.
Come on, Quill. We always known you're like a half sandwich away from being fat.
But I liked how they kept his character pretty much open with he's taking off with the Guardians. You know he's probably going to be in a future movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
The ones that needed to wrap up are wrapped up.
I think Hemsworth really likes playing Thor.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to sign on for as many as he can before he gets too up there in age to not do it anymore.
Right. No, I thought it was a great movie. I think the biggest surprise to me, outside of Cap grabbing the hammer, which was amazing, was you're 5 minutes in and they knocked the crap out of Thanos, and I'm like, wait, what? We still got a lot of time to go. What?
They chop
What's
off
happening?
his head, and I'm like, I looked at Teresa, right? They came in, they chopped his head off. I'm like, well, movie's done. Let's go home.
We must have missed something. We fall asleep. Oh,
I'm like, wait, what? Huh?
Yeah, I was the same way. I was like, what the hell?
I sure hope. And then they went to Cap being in the, doing the therapy session thing.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I sure hope the rest of the movie is not this. So I I liked how they showed how they were trying to grieve through it and everything and move forward with it. And I love Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. He is hilarious.
What'd you think of Hulk?
I could have done without the Professor Hulk. I would have preferred Grey Hulk, Mr. Fix-It Hulk, not the Professor. And plus, okay, you're Banner. Banner, which they have already messed up in the movie. He's not funny. He's a social outcast. He's always on the run. He doesn't have a sense of humor. And then you put him in the Hulk body, and then he doesn't have a sense of humor even more. And it's just like, no. I didn't like it at all. I was like, this is... How do you screw up the Hulk even more?
Okay.
I enjoyed it for the humor's sake of it, but yeah, as far as following the character, no.
And he didn't do anything.
No.
In the whole movie, he didn't do anything because now he's got a brain and he doesn't want to fight as much.
Yeah. I liked when he was like, that was funny. That was funny,
really
though.
good.
He's like, Hulk smash. I know he's one of your favorites.
No, he's really not.
The Hulk.
No,
he's not.
no. I mean, I like the Hulk, but he's not like one of my favorites.
Okay.
He's at least he might be top 25,
Top
maybe
20.
lower 25, but
He's like my top 50.
no. I always thought he was kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had to give him a personality for a movie.
They should have just gave it to Ben Grimm. Come on, you want to see Ben Grimm. I want to see an actually good
I want to see a good Ben
thing.
Grimm.
Not the horrible representations we've had in the movies.
No.
I don't.
No?
No? You don't want to see another Fantastic Four movie?
No. They've had plenty of chances. They're done.
But they came home.
They should have been there.
They should have been there. All right.
What if it's based in the 1960s? And then they're...
I want to see a good Doctor Doom is what I want to see.
Yeah?
I could care less about the Fantastic Four, but...
Well, they got to bring in Nihilus in some way.
Yeah.
So... And I want to see Chris Evans play Human Torch again.
He's done, man. He's done.
For Captain America.
I did like how they played at the end with Falcon and Bucky. Like, which one's getting it?
Yeah, they're both standing. Go ahead.
And Hulk was like, yeah, I'm going to just stay back here and not look and see what's happening. I'll just chill.
Like, I'll just find out later.
The kid that played Stark's daughter was really good. I liked her.
Yeah.
I love you 3000. I love that line. That was awesome. They have like shirts.
Yep.
Out there now. Like the Iron Man chest plate. It says I love you 3000 with the I was like, oh, I want one of them.
I did like the story arc of Nebula through the whole movie.
Yes.
Because, she was always nuts.
I am so happy they didn't do the, which one am I supposed to shoot now? Because I
Right.
can't figure it.
Yeah, I'm glad too.
Oh, I saw that count. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think they did a really good job of fixing
with
it.
her.
Yeah.
These last two Avengers movies have made up for Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
They made up for it.
It's still my least favorite.
I don't like it either. I've seen it twice. And once was on TV on Saturday afternoon.
They screw up so much in that movie. They screw up the Vision and Scarlet... They screw up... Okay, fine. Vision, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Ultron.
Yeah.
Isn't that where Black Widow and the Hulk start dating? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Where do they start teaching the Hulk to rub his hands and then he falls asleep? Really? It's time to go to sleep. It's getting dark. Like, that is the stupidest.
Sun's getting real low, big guy. I don't know. I think...
And where's Betty from the Hulk movies, from the Hulk books? Where's Betty at? You have Thunderbolt. Where's the daughter? Where's his girlfriend?
Don't know.
Why would you take a very important part of the Hulk mythos out of it?
Which they used
because
the Hulk.
They wanted to have Black Widow and the Hulk get together.
See that?
That's why you don't see her. Or her rights are owned by somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know. And they dropped a Namor hint, which was cool.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
In Thor, I think the Dark World, behind Selvig, there's a map. And on it, there's a piece of the ocean that's got a circle on it. And that's Atlantis. And then in this one, Okoye
Okoye, I think.
Okoye says that they're having to deal with an earthquake under the water.
Oh
Under the
yeah, I
ocean.
remember that. Yeah.
And in Civil War, Namor has to go and help during an earthquake under the water. So that was
What are we supposed to do?
right.
So earthquake under
So
the water.
Let the Atlanteans do it, because the Atlanteans do not like the
Earth dwellers.
Surface dwellers.
no. They have a real problem with the Wakandans. Wakandans and the Atlanteans hate each other.
It's a blood feud.
Pretty much.
Nice.
So,
Make a movie about that. Come on. I really want a Namor movie.
but the one that
It's
I will
called
say,
Aquaman. Yeah. And then all the characters start looking like the Marvel movies.
right, which needs to stop.
I agree.
Please.
I want Peter Parker to look like Peter Parker.
I want Iron Man not to look like he does in the movies. I want
Oh,
I want Thor to come back with the yellow and black like boots on.
I got a question. Quicksilver dies in Age of Ultron.
But they
Well,
have a time
spoiler.
thing going on.
You knew where I was going.
Oh, I
with
do
it.
know where you're going.
You knew where I was going
Okay.
with that.
So which
'Cause-
one did they bring in?
I hope it's the one from the X-Men universe because that kid's funny. I like
that one. I like that Quicksilver. I don't like the Dark Phoenix. I saw that preview and I'm like,
that was...
no.
I saw that. My kids got all excited. Oh, we're going to go see that one next. No, we're not.
No.
We're gonna wait for that to come on DVD.
I was like,
We'll pick
"Ugh.
it up when
We're
it
not
comes
even
out
getting it on
DVD.
Blu-ray. We're getting it
No.
on DVD.
No.
Dear God, look at that dumpster fire.
And that's how they're going out. That's the last Fox like X-Men
They're
movie.
going out
with that.
in a dumpster fire.
Maybe New Mutants. Ugh.
No.
I felt that this Endgame. I just want to know what's coming up for the next phase. Who's gonna be? Because I haven't heard anything.
They said they were going to take a little bit of a break on this, and then
Well, that's good. They need to let it.
I think if they do anything, they really need to do something with Guardians sooner than later because those guys aren't going to be.
Yeah, Guardians 3 is set.
Batista's already 50 years old.
There's a rumor that Nova has started production. There's 2 unknown Marvel movies that are coming out.
Okay.
That are top secret. They have not released any names.
Okay.
I really want to see another Doctor. I
want to see a Doctor Strange movie.
The movies actually did get me interested in Doctor Strange because of the humor.
I actually loved Doctor Strange. I sat down one afternoon and watched it, and I'm like, why did I not want to watch this at first? And then I sat there and I'm like, this is pretty badass.
When he only had like 2 lines in the whole movie. And he's like, "Is that all of them? What, you want more?"
Yeah.
Like, I gotta watch Doctor Strange again. I like this guy.
Yeah, like it. It was a good way for it to go out.
Yeah.
They did it really well, and I think the Russo brothers should be doing more with them because I think they did the Cap movies really well,
Mhm.
and they did this.
They got it.
They got what it was supposed to be because when I went and saw Winter Soldier, Teresa's hand hurt because I was holding it, and I had a death grip on her hand, and I stopped breathing for most of that movie. Like I was just sitting there going, that is one of my absolute favorites out of all of them is that movie. I can sit down and watch that one over and over and over again.
Did you crack up when Tony or Steven or Captain America gets in the elevator? And you're like, is this the fight? Is this the fight? Is it a fight again?
Yeah, yeah.
And he just leans over and, Hail Hydra.
Yeah, I was like,
It's like, boom! That was the worst storyline you ever did, but that is hilarious.
That is awesome that you said that. I was like, oh, shit.
You were just expecting him to fight them in the
I was
elevator
like,
again.
I was like, before we get started, does anybody want to get off? That's my favorite part of Winter Soldier.
I like how they brought Loki back.
Yep.
He now
And
exists
now
again.
he went away with the Tesseract.
Yep.
It's like, oh, somebody's got the reality, or the reality
Gem. Yep.
Wonder what he's doing.
The whole thing with Captain America's ass was funny too.
That was good.
That's
America's ass.
That is America's ass. I'm like, and he was swearing in that movie. I was like, Cap is swearing? Language.
What's funny is because we don't know how many guys he killed in World War II. He's got like probably like a giant kill count,
Yep.
but he only cares about cursing.
Yep.
And it's like, because when you're younger, and I was reading Captain America, and you don't think, okay, yeah, he's been in World War II. You never think, like, back in the old Roger Stern books, that he was actually fighting. Like,
Yeah.
you only see him, like, going on special missions and saving people from, like, castles and stuff. You never think of him, like, with a rifle going through, like, helping them out.
Like you do in the movies.
And now you're like, how much was his kill count?
Like in First Avengers, where you see him go and fight everybody and take out, and I'm like, yeah, his kill count's got to be high.
I do want to see when they bring the X-Men in, if they have a cameo of Wolverine in World War II with him.
Oh, what was there's a meme I saw on Facebook, and it's where they go and the Red Skull is in whatever planet the Red Skull's on, and it's Captain America. And it goes, Steve Rogers. Oh, shit, you're alive.
I am glad that they gave Red Skull a job. And he has a better person playing him that can actually do a German accent.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I like Hugo Weaving, but when he does it, he talks like, and then he has like the English accent in there, and it's just like, that is just wrong.
Just the wrong
It's
type
like-
of accent.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, no. I like you, but no.
No, I'm excited for the next run of Marvel movies. I'm hoping we get all new. I know we're gonna get like Black Panther 2 and like
Black
Guardians
Widow.
3. We're gonna get Black Widow.
Black Widow. Is that going to be a movie? I thought
It's
that
a-
was going to be on
it's a
Disney
prequel.
Plus.
It's a movie. It's going to be
No,
prequel.
Scarlet
Probably
Witch
that one.
Vision. Scarlet Vision's going to be.
Yeah.
Scarlet Vision's a TV show.
Yeah, and that's
And
going to
Loki.
be obviously a prequel.
I'm excited because I want new characters, but I know we're gonna get like Guardians 3 and Black Panther 2 and Doctor Strange 2. Hopefully.
Guardians can open up a whole lot of space characters
they
that
should
they
be-
need to be doing.
What they need, like, they need to make Guardians their main, and just start pulling people in. You know, do like what were you talking about? Space movies
Uh-huh.
when we were doing Thanos. Just have them start pulling all these different
I
characters
mean,
in.
it's an infinite universe.
Yeah, just start pulling them into the movies. You know,
It'd be nice to see. Okay, you don't mind if I spoil Captain Marvel for you, right?
go ahead.
You don't mind?
I don't think I'm going to
No,
see
I'm
it
good.
now until it comes out on DVD.
Okay, so the Skrulls, of course, they're in there. And everybody complains that the Skrulls end up being the good guy at the end. She helps them to go off planet and find a sanctuary for them. That is the very few amount of Skrulls that are in the universe. So you have like a couple pacifists. That's not the entire
No.
species.
As we know from X-Men 276, there's one that likes to take over people's bodies.
Right. And you know, it's nice that you can bring in these aliens, and then you can just start bringing all of them in.
Yep.
You know, if you're going to bring the Skrull in, you're going to bring the Kree in, you're going to bring...
Shi'ar,
Where are the Badoon?
the Badoon, Shi'ar,
Where's the Killer Wraiths? Where's...
you know.
Sorry, you can't use the Killer Wraiths. That's owned by Parker Brothers, but...
Where's
Thanks, Rom.
Power Pack?
Where's Rom?
Hi, DW.
I would love Rom to show up in Marvel Universe. Can you imagine like an 8-foot tall android just standing behind everybody? Get him back, guys.
I'd love to see it in a Transformers movie.
Yeah.
That'd be a
I'd like a
perfect
Transformers Generation 1 movie.
Yeah.
Like they did for Bumblebee.
Bumblebee was phenomenal. Have you seen it? Dude.
The opening is pure Gen 1.
Pure Gen
And
1,
it was like-
totally 80s.
You got the voices. You got everything.
They're all voiced by the characters from the cartoon.
The designs, the like the voices,
Everything.
their motions, everything. It was
Huh.
like,
That's why I was geeking out for most of that movie.
yeah, maybe you can
And
get
then
the
they-
license back to Marvel for the Transformers, and they can throw them in that universe too.
But that movie does explain why Bumblebee can't talk.
Yeah, but it's still stupid
It's
because he
still
doesn't talk through
stupid.
the whole thing.
He's still stupid. It's still stupid, but it explains it
You can become a Camaro the whole time.
the whole time, and I was in a Volkswagen.
Fuck.
Well, all right, guys.
So that's 6 hours of editing right there.
It shouldn't be too bad. We've been talking.
We've been
the whole-
talking a lot.
We've been talking the whole time.
There was one part in this episode that's coming up that I sound like I have a stroke because I'm like,
So you sound
I'm trying to talk and I'm like,
You sound like that one guy on the Twin Peaks.
yeah, I'm talking backwards, but it was just like, in a comic I read, and it came out in a comic I read. It's like trying to say Mr. Mixapitalik.
All right, so do we want to talk about what we're doing next week?
No, it's a surprise.
It's a surprise?
Yeah.
Oh, we're starting Mystery Month. That's right. Yes. Okay, so we'll tune in for Mystery Month next month. It's going to be fun. I'm loving all the titles we're going to do, and I hope you guys do too. Just a little housekeeping here. Give us a follow on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is the It's Too Wordy 1. If you like what you hear, and you want to hear keep the show going, maybe think about going to our Patreon page at patreon.com/BTS.
Or go on iTunes and give us a review.
Or iTunes and give us a review.
If we get 20 more reviews, we actually have 2 now.
We have 2?
Well, actually, we have 2 5-star reviews, but I need comments. So the only way I can give you guys the dice, or
is if we know who you are.
Maybe my issue of Marvel's Greatest Creators #1, Invaders.
Why not?
Go ahead and give us a comment, and we'll pick the one person out of the 20, and I'll send that to you.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We should do that. I like that idea. Maybe give them a copy of one of the books we read for the show or something like that. We autograph the...
You can't have Fred Hembeck Destroys the Marvel Universe.
No,
It's classic.
But maybe we could sign it or something like that. The book, the bag.
We don't want to ruin the book, so we're just going to sign the bag for you.
Just sign the bag, or we just
it'll look like we signed it,
or we just say thanks for listening and on a piece of paper and put it inside on the back.
We just signed the backing board
on the board. Yeah. Also, if you want to hear us talk about any books that you want, you can either reach out through us through Twitter, the Titter, or our email address is, sorry about this, guys, It's Too Wordy Comic Book Podcast at yahoo.com.
That's a lot of words.
It's too wordy.
It's too wordy. Kind of point of the show. But, just read more comics. And we'll see you next week, guys. This has been Kirk.
Nick.
Ryan.
Bye.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who chose to oppose his shield